Welcome into episode 6 of Winnipeg Sports Talk Weekly. I'm your host, Hrabchak. Today we've got a ton of news to talk about. The Winnipeg Jets had a full week as free agency rolls along. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers finally got a win at home against the Ottawa Redblacks. The Sea Bears split their week and the Goldeyes split their week as well. I'm going to hand out some awards later on in the episode, so stick around. But let's start with the Winnipeg Jets news of the week. The biggest news of the week was Winnipeg Jets development camp, which ran from Thursday through Sunday. Lots of scrimmages, lots of great prospects on display, including Alphonse Frey and Kevin He, who Hustler interviewed on the draft floor in Vegas. If you haven't checked those out, go check it out. Brad Lambert was there, Colby Barlow, Elias Solomonson, some high-level prospects, and some great hockey being played at the Hockey for All Center. Number 2, the Winnipeg Jets announced extensions for David Gustafsson and Logan Stanley. Each of them got 2-year deals, Gustafsson's with an AAV of $835,000, Stanley's with an AAV of $1.25 million. Both depth pieces for the Winnipeg Jets. They were both RFAs, extended qualifying offers. No surprise that they're coming back. David Gustafsson and Logan Stanley back for 2 more years. Number 3, the Winnipeg Jets made a few depth moves this week, signing Jared Anderson-Dolan, Mason Shaw, and trading for Dylan Coghlan, who is an RFA. He was with the Carolina Hurricanes. The Jets gave up future considerations, so nothing, and they'll have to sign Dylan Coghlan to a contract as an RFA, including Cole Perfetti and Ville Heinola, who also need a new contract with the Winnipeg Jets. Number 4, Kevin Cheveldayoff spoke at the end of development camp, and he said that there is still no update on the Rutger McGroarty situation. He explained that we will know when there is an update to be had. This Rutger McGroarty situation, it was reported he would be traded, maybe before the draft. He still hasn't been traded, but no updates is not a good sign. Rutger McGroarty and the Jets seemingly at an impasse on his NHL future. Lastly, the Winnipeg Jets released their schedule this week, and if you want some hot schedule takes, go check out Wednesday's edition of Winnipeg Sports Talk, where Michael Remus and I broke down the schedule. A lot of long homestands, a few long road trips, and a lot of Friday and Sunday home games for the Jets this season. I'm excited to be there on Friday nights with a great atmosphere inside the building. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers are finally on the board as they defeat the Ottawa Redblacks 25-16 on a gorgeous Friday night inside Princess Auto Stadium. And the Bombers did it exactly how they needed to. If you look at the stats behind me, they beat the Redblacks in net yards. First downs were even, but the Bombers had 3 sacks to the Redblacks 1, and the Redblacks turned the ball over 3 times while the Bombers didn't turn it over at all. This is exactly how the Bombers needed to win. Running the ball, Chris Strevler getting the start as Zach Collaros was out with an injury, Brady Oliveira getting 28 total touches, having 129 rushing yards, and being the Bombers' leading receiver in the game. The MOC was on full display. He's officially back with a great performance on Friday night. And the defense, Drew Brown was knocked out of the game with a hit late in the second quarter, so it was Dustin Crum from there on out. But nonetheless, it was still an impressive performance from the Bombers defense. Willie Jefferson with a great game, Terrell Bonds getting an interception, and the Redblacks turning the ball over 3 times made for a great night, and the Bombers getting their first win of the season. The Winnipeg Sea Bears split their games this week. They started the week off with a 102-101 win over the Edmonton Stingers, and then their second game of the week, a loss to the Montreal Alliance. But this game was next point wins. The target score was 102, and it was 101-101. Justin Wright Foreman drove to the rim, got fouled, and won the game on a free throw. Another electric CEBL finish, and Canada Life Center was buzzing. If you haven't been to a Sea Bears game, I highly recommend them. The atmosphere in that building is incredible. The target score is great, and the Sea Bears are winning games after cutting Teddy Allen. This was their 4th straight win, and then they dropped the game to Montreal. They're 4-0 without Teddy Allen. They let Byron Mullins go as well, and they've brought in some new faces, and they're a very exciting team, winning games. Yes, the latest game was a tough one, but this game inside Canada Life Center, a electric finish, 102-101, the Sea Bears picking up the win. It feels like every single episode, the Goldeyes are still 500, and that remains true this week. 26-26 after going 3-3 in their past 6 games. They were on the road in Sioux City taking on the Explorers, picked up a 9-0 win, dropped one 4-1, and then that score is not the Bombers score. That is a baseball score, 17-7. A huge win over the Sioux City Explorers. Roby Enriquez hit 2 home runs in the first inning of this game. The Goldeyes batted around the order, and both times he was up, he hit a home run. You don't see that very often in baseball. The Goldeyes then returned home and took on the Fargo-Moorhead Redhawks. They're neck and neck in the standings, but Fargo got the best of them in the series, taking 2 out of 3. The Goldeyes saw some great crowds over the weekend at Blue Cross Park. they'll continue their homestand 26-26 on the season with some fireworks, the 17-7 win on the road. Now it's time to get into the 3 stars of the week, but if you haven't already, drop a like on the video, hit the subscribe and the notification bell. We've got some great new content coming to the Winnipeg Sports Talk channel in the coming days. You're not going to want to miss that, so hit the notification bell. Let's get into the rest of the video, the 3 stars of the week. My 3rd star of the week is Bombers D lineman Willie Jefferson, and the stats just jump out at you. He forced a fumble and recovered it. That came on the first possession out of the second half. A huge way to start the half and a momentum changer for the Bombers at the time. He also had a sack, he had 2 defensive tackles, and the stats don't even tell the full story. Willie Jefferson was all around the ball all night long, being an absolute force for the Bombers defense. He's my 3rd star of the week on WST Weekly. My 2nd star of the week is David Muenkat from the Winnipeg Sea Bears, and I need to give him an award at some point here. His numbers don't jump off the page. 8 points per game, 7 rebounds, 1.8 steals and blocks combined. But he is an absolute monster on the glass. The 7 rebounds a game honestly doesn't even do it justice. He plays down the stretch for the Sea Bears because of his rebounding and defensive abilities, not for the points he puts up, although that is an added bonus. And if there was a hardest working player of the week award, he would win it every single week for the Winnipeg Sea Bears. So I've got to give him the 2nd star of the week here on episode 6 of WST Weekly. My 1st star of the week, this one's obvious. Brady Oliveira, the most outstanding Canadian. What a dominant performance from him in the win over the Ottawa Redblacks. 23 rushing attempts, 129 yards. That's 5.6 yards per carry. If you ask Brady, I'm sure he'll shout out his O-line as well. They played great, at least in the run game. And then the catches. He had 5 and 37 yards. He was actually the leading receiver for the Bombers in this game, along with obviously being the leading rusher. He did it all. He needed to do it all with the injuries up front. Brady Oliveira, he's back after a slow start to the season. He's my 1st star of the week on Winnipeg Sports Talk Weekly. And here it is, the upcoming sports schedule here in Winnipeg for the upcoming week. Starting with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. They're on a hot streak. They've won 1 straight game. They're looking to make it 2. They're staying at home, actually, taking on the Calgary Stampeders, who they just lost to in overtime the other week. That should be another great Friday night at Princess Auto Stadium. If you don't already, grab your tickets. The Blue Bombers looking for their 2nd straight win. The Winnipeg Sea Bears, they're going to hit the road and take on the Saskatchewan Rattlers. Now, this is actually a massive game because former CEBL MVP Teddy Allen was with the Sea Bears. Like I've said on this show, they eventually cut him. The Sea Bears went 4-0, and now Teddy Allen has signed with the Saskatchewan Rattlers. The Sea Bears and Rattlers will play again on July 20th. That one will be inside Canada Life Center. I can't wait for that game. But this game, the first meeting between the two, since Teddy Allen moved on, he's with Saskatchewan, a prairie rivalry. That game is on July 11th, so tune into that, CEBL Plus, and you can listen to the call online. The Winnipeg Goldeyes, they will continue their homestand July 9th. That's a Tuesday. They'll take on the Kansas City Monarchs. The Goldeyes, like I've said, the past couple episodes, they've been 500, but they're starting to see some bigger crowds at Blue Cross Park. New scoreboard, the original craft beer corner. Go check them out, goldeyes.com/tickets, and you can catch a game this week in person. Lastly, the Winnipeg Jets, they still need to sign some players. Cole Perfetti, Ville Heinola, NHL free agency continues. And of course, we're still on Rutger McGroarty and Nikolai Ehlers' watch over here at Winnipeg Sports Talk. What happens with those situations? Kind of a dead period here between July and August, heading up to training camp, but still a lot of things for the Jets to do over this next 2 months as they prepare for the 2024-25 season. And how could I forget, honorable mention, racing continues at the Downs Monday through Wednesday. That's going to do it for the 6th episode of Winnipeg Sports Talk Weekly. Thank you everyone for checking it out. I really do appreciate it. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and the notification bell so you don't miss videos like this every single Monday. We've got some fun content coming out, including a player deep dive Tuesday on Jets prospect Colby Barlow. We spoke to Colby himself. Liz Hood and I breaking down the film. Colby Barlow, everything you need to know. You're not going to want to miss that. Check that out on Tuesday. And for the rest of the week, enjoy the games, and I will see you all next Monday. Have a great week, everyone.